Hey guys, it's New Japan Pro Wrestling's Best of the Super Juniors results, and I couldn't pull up the next event predictions, so instead we'll be doing Resurgence predictions here. For this first matchup in a 30-minute time limit, which every matchup's a 30-minute time limit, for A block, Mike Bailey will take on Doki. Well, he did take on Doki anyway. Mike Bailey won with Ultima Weapon to give him 5 wins and 1 loss with 10 points. And Doki to now have 2 wins and 4 losses for 4 points. The match time here was 9 minutes and 46 seconds. Then for the second matchup for B block, Yoshinobu Kanemaru will take on Bushi. Why do I keep saying that? He did take on Bushi. Bushi got his first victory here finally with MX to now have 1 win and 5 losses with 2 points, and Kanemaru to have 2 wins and 4 losses now with 4 points. This match time was 1 minute and 46 seconds. Then for the third matchup for A block, Ryusuke Taguchi took on TJP, which this matchup ended up having the Pinoy stretch with TJP winning for now 4 wins and 2 losses with 8 points, and Taguchi to have 0 wins and 6 losses for no points. Seriously, give this man a win in one of these matches, please. Then for the fourth matchup for B block, Kevin Knight will take on, he took on Dan Maloney, and Kevin Knight won here with Spike DDT. He has 3 wins and 3 losses for 6 points. And Dan Maloney also now has 3 wins and 3 losses for 6 points. The match time was 8 minutes and 15 seconds. Then for the fifth matchup here in A block, Taiji Ishimori took on Sho, which Taiji won with Schoolboy. He won now. He's moving on now with 4 wins and 2 losses with 8 points. And Sho is opposite with 2 wins and 4 losses for 4 points. It was weird to see both of these two fight each other since they're both members of Bullet Club. But Sho is a part of House of Torture, which really isn't David Finlay's Bullet Club. And Taiji Ishimori is part of David Finlay's Bullet Club. And with that, really kind of a civil war going on within Bullet Club. And also, to be fair, Japanese wrestling is interesting because they have had factions fight each other frequently. So there is that too. Anyway, the match time here was 5 minutes and 48 seconds. Then for the sixth matchup for B block, El Desperado took on Clark Connors. And El Desperado got the victory here with LS Claro. So now he has 4 wins and 2 losses with 8 points. Clark Connors has 3 wins and 3 losses for 6 points. The match time was 11 minutes and 21 seconds. Then for the seventh matchup for A block, Leo Rush took on Titan, which Titan got the victory here for now 4 wins and 2 losses with 8 points. Leo Rush with 4 wins and 2 losses for 8 points. It does not specify how Titan won or what the match time is. Then for the eighth matchup for B block, Yol took on Francesco Akira, which Yol got the victory here with 5-star clutch. So now he has 4 wins and 2 losses for 8 points. Akira has 3 wins and 3 losses for 6 points. The match time was 1 minute and 34 seconds. Then for the ninth match for A block, Kushida took on Hiromu Takahashi. Hiromu won this matchup by countout. So now he has 4 wins and 2 losses for 8 points. Kushida has 1 win and 5 losses for 2 points. Kushida is mathematically eliminated here. So he's still taking place in the tournament. It's just that he no longer has it. He can no longer come back in the tournament, or like he can no longer make a comeback. Is what basically that is. Then for the 10th matchup for B Block, the main event, Master Wato took on Robbie Eagles, which Master Wato won this matchup with Su Tenkaku German to get now 4 wins and 2 losses with 8 points, and Robbie Eagles with the same thing, 4 wins and 2 losses with 8 points. This match time was 19 minutes and 37 seconds. Well, there you go. That was Best of the Super Junior Thursday, May 18th in Iwate Prefectural Gymnasium. And coming up next is Resurgence predictions. Alright, we're back, and it's time for Resurgence predictions. Let's get things started here. The full card is now set for Resurgence as NJPW action returns to the stunning Walter Pyramid in Long Beach, California for the first time since the Super J Cup finals in 2019. The first strong women's champion will be crowned on a night full of big matches and big drama. And to kick things off here, the DKC will take on Bateman. So, with one fall for a 20-minute time limit. The DKC and Bateman see 2 representatives of the modern age of the LA dojo, training new recruits in New Japan Academy classes of late. As they take to the ring, a resumption of history DKC has had with Bateman's Stray Dog Army in the past, and a match for the Academy pupils to take notes on. Within this matchup, though, I see Bateman getting the victory over the DKC. Then for the second kickoff match, Christopher Daniels will take on Alex Coughlin in a one fall match for the 20-minute time limit. The second of 2 kickoff bouts in Long Beach will see Alex Coughlin go up against Christopher Daniels. Coughlin's ROH Pure Rules victory over Tracy Williams at Collision certainly put him in contention for the title held by his trainer in Katsuyori Shibata. Before that notion can enter the android's central processing unit, he has to face a man who has nothing but disdain for Coughlin's LA dojo roots in Christopher Daniels. The Fallen Angel is back in New Japan to resume a campaign started last autumn with a betrayal of Yuya Uemura, one that has seen him determined to wipe out every member of the Shibata-trained fight camp. Will he pick up where he left off against the DKC and Rocky Romero last year? Or can Alex put a stop to the veterans' antics? And I say Christopher wins this matchup. And to kick things off with this first matchup of the actual card, New Japan will have its Strong Women's Championship tournament. Kicking the main card off in style, Stephanie Vakir will take on Mercedes Monet in the first round of the Strong Women's Championship tournament. CMML representative Vakir has impressed not just in Mexican rings, but in Japan as well, where pro wrestling wave ice ribbon and stardom on her resume. In her biggest match in the U.S., if not her career to date, she takes on the former IWGP Women's Champion, Mercedes Monet. Monet did not take kindly to her loss against Mayu Iwatani at All-Star Grand Queendom, and is determined to bounce back big in Long Beach. And will she become the first Strong Women's Champion? I think in this one fall for a 30-minute time limit matchup, Mercedes Moné will beat Stephanie Vakir, but we'll have to wait and see what continues on in this. Then for the second matchup of the Strong Women's Championship tournament, it sees two women on either side of the form spectrum go head-to-head. Willow Nightingale has been a force of nature on AEW Dark and Ring of Honor programming in 2023, staying undefeated for the last 3 months. While she looks to continue that momentum by making history in Long Beach, Momo Kogo heads to the U.S. to try and turn her own fortunes around. The Stars member hasn't picked up a win since February 11th, ironically enough, only 2 weeks before Nightingale recorded her last loss, with Starlight Kid and Mariah May not being too charitable as they dared Momo to get tough and fast. Momo Kogo has taken matters into her own hands by heading stateside, but can she pick up the gold? And I say here that Willow Nightingale gets the victory in this matchup with a one fall for a 30-minute time limit. The third matchup is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. With a first-time duo of Bad Dude Tito and Zack Sabre Jr., it presents an intriguing blend of power and technique on May 21st in Long Beach. They take on a similarly interesting CMLL duo of Barbaro, Cavernario, and Virus. One has to go back to 2021 to see the last time Cavernario and Virus teamed together in Mexico. And before that, Fantasticamania 2016. Yet the two together is an interesting mix. The chance to see Mexican Yave face off with British submission artistry is a tantalizing one indeed. I see Zack Sabre Jr. and Bad Dude Tito getting the victory here. Then for the fourth matchup is a street fight for one fall, and there is no time limit. No disqualifications will be in play in our fourth matchup of the evening, as Fred Rosser will take on Juice Robinson. Back at Battle in the Valley, Kenta relieved Rosser off the Strong Openweight Championship thanks to a roll of quarters in the fist of Juice. A match was set up for the two at Capital Collision. Rosser would touch an emotional nerve when he reserved for a seat for Robinson's wife, Toni Storm, to quote-unquote watch me punish your husband. Juice was justifiably angered, but went beyond the pale when he not only assaulted Rosser before their bout with a piledriver on the stage, another fistful of coins, and much more besides, but also struck down a referee trying to intervene. This result was a suspension for Juice Robinson, but now at Rosser's command, he will be reinstated for this street fight. Rosser had no contribution, and Rosser is not afraid to bend the rules when pushed, and now has none in front of him in what could well be a most violent match of his career and of this night. I see Juice Robinson getting the victory here. Then for the fifth matchup, we have a 1-minute fall for the 30-minute time limit. History was made at Dontaku on Wednesday, May 3rd, as the Strong Openweight Championship was defended on Japanese soil for the first time, and by the man who wrestled the very first New Japan Strong match in Kenta. Things didn't pan out the way Bullet Club would have planned, though, as Hikuleo would overcome weeks of mind games and post-match kendo stick attacks through the road to tour, eventually capturing the gold to become the fourth ever Strong Openweight champion. Hikuleo won't have much time to ease into his first singles title reign in New Japan, though, as he must defend in a rematch with Kenta in Long Beach. It's safe to say that the Strong champion is the most consistent face of New Japan in its American endeavors. Will Hikuleo establish himself in that position, or could Kenta regain the title back into Bullet Club clutches? I say here Hikuleo retains. Then for the sixth matchup, a special six-man tag team matchup will take place, which is a set for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. At Dontaku, Tomohiro Ishii was more than a little uncomfortable then teaming with Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kazuchika Okada made the team to face never openweight six-man tag team champions Strong Style. Warning to keep the trio chaos-centric. Ishii issues with the ace seemed to create issues for his team's linchpin, whose loyalty to both his allies were tested, but the end result was new champions being crowned. Shota Umino would be quick to issue a challenge to Okada and already he already had a partner lined up in the form of Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley will return to New Japan Pro Wrestling tonight and will be back in Japan at Dominion. But tonight at Resurgence, we have a preview lined up with Wheeler Yuta as the third member. Here it'll be an all chaos affair as Rocky Romero joins Ishii and Okada. But the Rainmaker may feel some sympathy for Jon Moxley tonight, who teams with his Blackpool Comic Club, quote-unquote, Kohai in Yuta, and a man who he enlisted as his own personal young lion through G1 Climax 29, Umino. It's no exaggeration to say that Moxley put both Yuta and Umino on the map, but his young charges couldn't be more diverse in attitude in recent months. While Umino has been a fan favorite showman in New Japan's Hontai, Yuta has been a merciless figure in AEW's BCC. Will the team set themselves up for greatness? I say so. Then for the seventh matchup is the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship number one contenders tournament. The winner of this match will face Lance Archer June 4th at Dominion. And this is set for one fall for a 60-minute time limit. With the IWGP US champion Kenny Omega short a contender, a mini tournament of former champions got underway last month in Philadelphia. When Juice Robinson got himself suspended for assaulting an official, however, it would be friend Rosser taking Juice's place. And the injured Rosser was swift and violent pickings for Murderhawk monster Lance Archer. Now, Lance Archer's opponent, June 4th in Osaka, Dominion, will be determined in this clash of two men with considerable history belied by their sole singles meeting in the 2019 G1 Climax. It was in 2019 Will Ospreay entered the G1 as IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion with a declaration that he would quote-unquote attack for the next generation, just as Tanahashi himself had some 2 decades earlier. Will Ospreay's G1 campaign would start approximately enough with a hard-fought battle in Dallas against Lance Archer. And though Will Ospreay's results were mixed, a win over Tanahashi in the Budokan would end his campaign. It was an emotional full circle, and one that would give Ospreay the self-confidence to break through glass ceilings and transition to the heavyweight ranks. Fate stepped in the way, and a COVID positive put the match on ice. Tanahashi would win the vacant United States gold, which would be mirrored in instability until Ospreay took the title and raised its image through the back half of 2022. With that reign being ended by Kenny Omega at Wrestle Kingdom 19, 18, something like 17, 18, I don't remember. Wrestle Kingdom this year. The stars aligning for Tanahashi versus Ospreay 2 with the stakes being the United States Championship and Kenny Omega, couldn't be more poetic. Tanahashi's distaste for history with Kenny is not to be ignored either. While the stakes cannot get much higher, a battle between two of the best talents to emerge from the 21st century could not get more worthy of anticipation. And with that, I see Will Ospreay getting the victory here. Then for the main event, which will be either Mercedes Moné or Stephanie Vakir, or Momo Kogo or Willow Nightingale. This is a one fall for a 30-minute time limit. Since I predicted here that Mercedes Moné would fight Willow Nightingale, I'm just going to go with that. The main event will see the final match of the one-night tournament to crown the inaugural Strong Women's Champion. The third Strong Championship will see the best form around the world compete in New Japan events moving forward. And with the representation from both Mercedes Moné and Willow Nightingale in this four-women tournament, a high standard will be set from the off. And since I'm saying Mercedes Moné defeats Willow Nightingale to become the Strong Women's Champion. Well, there you guys go. That's Resurgence predictions. And I'll see you guys next time. Good night, everyone.